I'm here, sitting here talking to David Weber and Helen Clulow of Intelligent Environments. And you guys just put together a survey working with YouGov looking at digital financial services for the consumer market. So I'm going to start with you, David. What were some of the high-level findings from this survey?
Yeah, there were a couple of actually really quite interesting findings. First of all, one of the findings was that 51% of the respondents cited the ability to access their financial service information through mobile devices as very, very important for them for customer loyalty. That in itself is interesting, but what was even more interesting was they actually cited customer service. Only 40% of them rated it as important. So they actually rated mobility above customer service.
So what do you think are some of the reasons why customer service was kind of lower down the list of concerns?
Well, I think what that's actually demonstrating is just how consumers are evolving, how they want to connect to their money. They are now so used to being able to access information and data through devices, through web, through any channel, and to get that upon demand, that is how they expect the world to be. And if you're not an organisation that's providing that, probably questioning whether they're with the right organisation. Maybe also it's suggesting that a lot of financial services products, whether that's the capability to pay a bill or query a card statement or to apply for a product, are they're sort of ubiquitous services that they expect those to just be a service you receive and something that you do through an online or automated process, and they probably don't have a high customer service expectation because they're not expecting a high degree of customer engagement. They're not expecting to be served by an individual. They're just expecting to get on my device, get on my web, get what I want when I want it, and just have that executed.
So, Helen, I'm going to move over to you. David talked a little bit about customer demands evolving, and at this launch today, you had sort of a futurist, Magnus Lindqvist, talk about the future and technology and innovation. So, how do you see these customer demands evolving in the future?
I think it's really interesting, Liz, actually, and it's just picking up on some of the utilitarian parts of the service that David's already talked about. We've done a lot of analysis around what customers actually want, and we distilled it into these 6 pillars of digital money. So give me the right information at the right time, help me make a payment easily and quickly, and send me the right offer that's relevant to me if I want it, let me communicate with you and vice versa, maybe, support me when I need support, and secure me so that I'm not going to worry about making transactions either through a mobile device or online. And I think when you distill it back to those core competencies that customers actually want, and then you map it against what customers are actually using, they're going on a journey. So at the moment, they're on a view transactions and view balances on device sort of mentality. But increasingly, they're starting to make payments. They're wanting to do more through social media networks. And really, banks and other financial institutions need to help them do that. So it's an evolutionary experience, not a here's everything in one go and use it, please, because that's just going to create confusion.
So is this, would you say that when, people wanting to use their mobile phones for payments, or people looking at using social media more involved with, their financial services, is this something that banks are trying to deliver to customers, or is this being pushed from the customer side?
I think at the moment it's customers want that utilitarian service because increasingly they see it's their money. I want 24/7 access to it. And obviously the image of banks has been somewhat tarnished over the past few years, but banks increasingly are trying to retain more customers and also sell more to them. So there's this push-pull type of approach that's going on at the moment. And I think the key for anybody who provides any form of financial service is to listen to what your end users actually want and provide it in a way that's really highly usable for them, because otherwise they're just not going to use it as quickly as you want them to.
That's great. Thank you, Helen. David, thank you very much.